All right, some breaking news to get to here late on a Saturday night. According to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, Kelly Oubre Jr. was hit by a car in Center City, Philadelphia, and is expected to miss significant time. We're going to go through all of the latest details coming up here on 76ers Now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for year-round coverage of the Sixers, because when breaking news happens, we cover it, and unfortunately, this is something that we have to discuss tonight. So Woj tweeted this out just moments ago that 76ers guard Kelly Oubre Jr. was a pedestrian struck by a motor vehicle in Center City, Philadelphia tonight, and he is currently receiving treatment at a local hospital, a Sixers spokesman tells ESPN. Oubre Jr., and this is good news for his health, is currently in stable condition. Woj followed that up with another tweet that representatives from the team, including 76ers president Daryl Morey, are with Oubre at the hospital right now. He is expected to miss significant time due to his injuries, but those aren't considered to be season-ending injuries. Local authorities in Philadelphia are investigating the incident. Oubre Jr. was walking near his residence when struck, the spokesman said. Now, I grew up in the Philadelphia area. I went to Temple University. I know that obviously Center City can get busy. I'm not sure right now where exactly Oubre Jr. was hit, but of course there's a lot of foot traffic in that area of the city and a lot of motor vehicle traffic in that part of the city as well. Initial thoughts here, my goodness. I mean, this is horrible news. Thankfully that Kelly Oubre Jr. is okay. At the end of the day, basketball doesn't matter. It's his health that matters, and thankfully, he's okay and he's in stable condition. But of course, we have to talk about the basketball standpoint and the basketball implications of this, and part of the reason why this is so unfortunate is because Kelly Oubre Jr., in his 9-year career with Philadelphia this year, was playing some of, if not the best basketball of his career. And this stinks for Oubre. Late NBA free agency signing for Philadelphia. He had been playing just awesome hoops, first as a role player when James Harden was technically still with the team and when P.J. Tucker was starting. But then when P.J. Tucker and James Harden were traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, in a trade that it looks as though Philadelphia has won up to this point, when Tucker was taken out of the starting lineup, Oubre Jr. fulfilled that role. So he went from role player, game one against Milwaukee, got off to a terrific start, and then once P.J. Tucker was dealt in that Harden trade, that's when Oubre entered that starting five, and Nick Nurse was thrilled with the production that he was getting from Oubre, who last year played with the Charlotte Hornets and has always had a lot of ability. Very athletic wing who can get it done on both ends of the floor, but this year was just playing winning basketball, efficient basketball, and seemed to be a perfect fit on the Sixers roster. He had been averaging 16 points per game prior to this, 5 assists per night, a steal and a half, shooting 50% from the field, nearly 38% from three-point range, so well above his career average, and that was coming on a lot of volume. Nearly 12 field goal attempts per night and 4.5 three-point attempts per night, and getting 29 minutes of run per contest. So that goes to show you right there just some of the best basketball of his career, and hopefully he's in okay spirits. I imagine it's hard to deal with something like this considering the high that he was on as a basketball player here, but of course you have to factor in the human nature element of this and throw the basketball stuff out of the window. This is what really matters, is that this isn't more serious, because anytime a pedestrian is hit by a car, we know that catastrophic things can happen. Make sure you sign up with PrizePicks, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS, Daily Fantasy Sports, largest independently run daily fantasy sports app in North America. We'll put that link down below in the comments section. We had put Kelly Oubre Jr. in a couple of our PrizePicks selections because he was playing such good ball, and his energetic aura, I think, was something that he brought to this team where he became an immediate fan favorite. As for the Sixers here, they're definitely going to miss his athleticism on the wing. He'd been playing really good defense, buying in on that end of the floor for head coach Nick Nurse. The offensive versatility is something that the Sixers really valued and utilized, and that was part of the reason why he was able to fit so seamlessly on this Sixers roster. And Nick Nurse has done such a great job of maximizing players on this Sixers team, Kelly Oubre Jr. included in that. Thankfully, from a basketball standpoint, once again, and again, let me just reiterate that takes a backseat to this entire conversation. I used to work in news media, and when these things happen, you kind of have to attack them from all fronts. Again, thoughts and prayers with Kelly Oubre Jr., and I hope that he gets well soon. But thankfully, the Sixers team, it is a deep roster, and it's one of the deepest teams that they've been. Patrick Beverley said the other night that the Sixers are deep as shit, and they really are. His words, not mine. And some other players are going to have to step up in Oubre's absence. Tyrese Maxey is playing at an all-star level right now. Joel Embiid is leading the NBA in scoring. He has been absolutely sensational. Nick Nurse has unlocked this passing element to his game to a certain degree. Tobias Harris is probably playing the best ball that he's played in a Sixers uniform, from the overall production to the efficiency. DeAnthony Melton has been starting in that backcourt alongside Maxey. He has to step it up a little bit because he's been struggling up to this point. Nicholas Batum has been a great player coming in off the bench. Nick Nurse even said the other night that Batum is really pretty much a starter in this league. And with Oubre taking over for PJ Tucker, you have to think if Batum is going to slide in to that 4 spot alongside Embiid. When they've been on the floor, sharing the floor together, Batum is a floor stretcher. Hasn't really clashed with him from a stylistic standpoint. So I think Batum is probably the leader in the clubhouse to start alongside Embiid. You could go Paul Reed if you want some more athleticism, but I think that he's been a really good player off the bench. Robert Covington, 3-and-D, process era Sixer, who's back, and he had some big contributions against Boston on Wednesday night. Furkan Korkmaz is more so back in the rotation a little bit. Daniel House, Patrick Beverley, Jaden Springer. Maybe we'll see a little bit more now from Marcus Morris, who's only getting about 6 minutes per game. Not really in the rotation for Nurse, but he's certainly capable. Been in the league for a really, really long time. Doesn't give you some of the athleticism that Kelly Oubre Jr. does bring you, but those are some of the players who are going to have to kind of carry the load a little bit, with Oubre Jr., according to Woj, set to miss, quote, significant time. And when you look at the Eastern Conference standings, this Sixers team has been one of the more fun and entertaining teams in the NBA. Offense of synergy, defensively, tenacity. They're playing with effort for the first time in a really, really long time. Growing up as a lifelong Sixers fan, Philadelphia finally has this coaching edge. I've said this a couple of times, but I think Nick Nurse is the best Sixers coach that they've had since Larry Brown. And that's a big reason why they're on a 7-game winning streak right now, 7-1 atop the Eastern Conference. And when you scan the entire NBA, second best record behind the Denver Nuggets, who have played an additional game. Denver is 8-1, the reigning NBA champions. And then you look at the Sixers' schedule coming up here. It gets a little confusing, obviously, with this whole play-in tournament or NBA in-season tournament that I don't still really understand. But the Sixers on Sunday will play the Indiana Pacers. And then on Tuesday, they play the Pacers again. That's a part of the NBA in-season tournament in the group stage. A second rematch with the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. We will be doing a watch party for that on 76ers Now, so be sure to join us. Another in-season tournament game on Friday on the road against the Atlanta Hawks. Nets on Sunday. Cavaliers in another group stage game on Tuesday, and then Timberwolves, Thunder, Lakers, Pelicans, Celtics, Wizards, Pistons, all coming up over the next several games. That kind of takes you through the next month and change, going through December 15th with that last Pistons game right there. So really unfortunate news. Hope Kelly Oubre Jr. able to make a very quick recovery, and he's in my thoughts and prayers, sending strength and positive vibes to him. Daryl Morey is there, as Woj noted, and I imagine some of the coaches, some of the players are also joining him at the hospital as well. So, unfortunate news to pass along here tonight on Saturday on 76ers Now. We do thank you for watching, and if you want breaking news coverage and overall year-round coverage of the Sixers, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have a good night, and we'll catch you next time here on the show. Get well soon, Kelly Oubre.